You know, when article first came out about what Mr. Fisher had to say about working with Mr. Whedon, I was surprised nothing was really said. At the same time, I was thinking, oh, that's wild. Could this possibly be a future recasting also? I mean, you know, I'm sure Ray doesn't care since he came out and said what he said. I mean, something like that could cause something like that. I'm sure he knows that, but I'm sure he wanted to say what he wanted to say. You know what I mean? So, says here, Warner Bros. Fires back at Justice League star Ray Fisher. The studio says the cyborg actor made a false claim in his complaints about Justice League and DC film execs. In a rare move, Warner Bros. Is publicly firing back at one of its actors. That's why I was surprised. So, the studio issued a lengthy defense of its executives' actions during the production of Justice League, after star Ray Fisher accused DC Films of dismissing his complaints about director Joss Whedon. First, some backstory. In June, the cyborg actor accused Whedon, who took over the project for director Zack Snyder, who left the film after a family tragedy, of unspecified gross abuse, unprofessional, and completely unacceptable behavior on set. Fisher also said that Jeff Johns, then the president of DC Entertainment, and producer John Berg enabled Whedon's behavior. Berg has strongly denied this. More recently, Fisher added new details to his complaints. During the LA reshoots for Justice League, Jeff Johns summoned me to his office to belittle and admonish my agent's attempts to take grievances up the proper chain of command, Fisher wrote on Twitter. Really, I didn't know about this. He then made a thinly veiled threat to my career. Warner Media launched an investigation into the claims in August, which Fisher welcomed. I believe this investigation will show that Jeff Johns, Joss Whedon, and John Berg, and others grossly abused their power, he wrote. On Friday, Fisher added an accusation seemingly directed at DC Films president Walter Hamada after speaking out about Justice League. I received a phone call from the president of DC Films where he attempted to throw Joss Whedon and John Berg under the bus in hopes that I would relent on Jeff Johns, he wrote. Late Friday, the studio sent out the below reply claiming the actor was primarily upset about his storyline in the film and had declined to meet with an investigator, and said Fisher has refused to provide any specifics to back up his misconduct accusations. Interesting. In July, Ray Fisher's representatives asked DC Film president Walter Hamada to talk to Mr. Fisher about his concerns during the production of Justice League, reads the statement from a Warner Bros. Spokesperson. The two had previously spoken when Mr. Hamada asked him to reprise his role as Cyborg in Warner Bros. Upcoming Flash movie, together with other members of the Justice League. In their July conversation, Mr. Fisher recounted disagreements he'd had with the film's creative team regarding his portrayal of Cyborg, and complained that his suggested script revisions were not adopted. Mr. Hamada explained that creative differences are a normal part of the production process and that a film's writer or director ultimately has to be in charge of these matters. Notably, Mr. Hamada also told Mr. Fisher that he would elevate his concerns to Warner Media so they could conduct an investigation. At no time did Mr. Hamada ever throw anyone under the bus, as Mr. Fisher has falsely claimed, to render any judgments about the Justice League production, in which Hamada had no involvement since filming occurred since filming occurred before Hamada was elevated to his current position. Continued, Warner Bros. While Mr. Fisher never alleged any actionable misconduct against him, Warner Media nonetheless initiated an investigation into the concerns he'd raised about his character's portrayal. Still not satisfied, Mr. Fisher insisted that Warner Media hire an independent third-party investigator. This investigator has attempted multiple times to meet with Mr. Fisher to discuss his concerns, but to date, Mr. Fisher has declined to speak with the investigator. Warner Bros. Remains committed to accountability and to the well-being of every cast and crew member on each of its production. It also remains committed to investigating any specific and credible allegations of misconduct, which thus far Mr. Fisher has failed to provide. EW has reached out to Fisher's reps with no comment. All right, well, when it's he said, she said stuff, I tend to take it all with a grain of salt. It's like YouTube beef. You don't know who's telling the truth. So, it is what it is. Hopefully, he does return as Cyborg, and they can get this squashed. And I really tell you the truth, I don't care whose fault it is. I'm kind of like, I just want good movies, and I hope that they can all work together. And, for him to say everything that he said, to me, it's I highly doubt it's all a lie. Maybe it's somewhere in between, creative differences. Maybe Whedon had an attitude in certain days. I don't know. Maybe it's all false, but I don't know. You know what I mean? So, I don't know what to tell you. Like I said, I want it all to work out. I like him as Cyborg. And after Snyder's Cut comes out, I may like him even more. You know what I'm saying? You never know when big companies have something to say, whether they're telling you the truth or not. It just is what it is. When they said that Zack Snyder stepped away because of his daughter passing away, they were saying, that at first, and then later they were like, no, they fired him beforehand, and they used that excuse for him to step away without causing any public problems. So which one was it? Right? Post comments down below. Let me know what you all think. If you enjoyed my video on this, hit the like button, subscribe, and share.